It's King of the World. Good morning. It's Mother's Day. And my son is King of the World going by. It's a beautiful day.
Yeah.
Hi, and welcome to Lofty May Vlogs. My name is Tracy, and I am the host of the Knitting on the Float podcast. It is May 14th, and it is a gorgeous, gorgeous day out here. Earlier this morning, Nathaniel and the cadets went by on the boat, and Nathaniel was King of the World, so I'm excited to put that footage in for you for today. Today, it's Mother's Day. And on Mother's Day, I think we need to take it a little bit easy. We will do something in the loft, but it's going to be very light lifting today. We will have our tea, and I have a special Rendale design mug for today, and we are going to do a little bit of nitty chat. Again, it was a mystery project, but for now, let's just enjoy a moment of glorious sunshine. It is a warm day on the river, and just over here we have a mama with her 3 little ducklings. Just going for a swim. She's a little bit protective. We'll pop over this side. And maybe today we'll get a bit of an aerial view. We'll go up this way and take a peek down. There they are. Getting in that swim before it gets too hot. I am finally getting a chance to sit down. Do you know what? It's mid-afternoon and I still have not had a cup of tea. So we're going to rectify that in a moment. I have the project that I worked on the couch with me, and it is the mystery project. So of course I can't tell you too much about it other than the 2 yarns that I am currently using are this beautiful dark Orion, and this is a Miss Babs Yummy 2-ply toes, one of the little mini there. And I'm holding it double with Hedgerow Yarns Mohair undyed, and it is knitting up just beautifully soft. I was knitting outside earlier today with mohair on my lap. It is definitely getting a little bit too warm for that, but I will not complain about beautiful warm weather. Anyway, yesterday I did get this wound up, and I worked on this a little bit last night, and I will continue to work on it a little bit today. The other thing I'm going to need to do is I'm going to need to wind up this afterglow, because this one is getting just right near the very end. I'm not sure whether I would have to do a little bit of mixing and matching, so I may just start off with a fresh skein rather than playing yarn chicken, even though I'm not really having to play yarn chicken. So we will see. Anyway, today I think I will wind this up, continue work on this, and we're going to do something very exciting today. I am going to be casting on a new project, and we're going to sit together for a little bit and choose some yarn. But before we do that, I think it is time for some tea, and I am just drinking Marks & Spencer Extra Strong, back to a Rendale Designs mug, and this lovely fox mug is one of the 14-ounce ones, and if you look inside, it says Mum. And this is my Mother's Day mug. Well, I've had it for a little while, but this is my mug that I am using today because in North America, and I think other places in the world, I believe Australia, New Zealand, it is Mother's Day. So we are celebrating Mother's Day here, and I thought it fully appropriate to use my Rendale Designs lovely fox mug. So I will say a cheer to everyone who is either celebrating Mother's Day. I am sending big hugs to people who struggle and find Mother's Day hard. And I'm just sending lots and lots of love out there. Cheers. If I'm going to be honest, I do not feel like going up to the loft and working today. I did think about doing one task, but it involves getting other people involved. Plus it involves a little bit of work on either end. I wanted to move the bench out of my walk-in closet and bring it upstairs, but I think that just involves a little bit too much work on my part, even though it would be the boys doing the heavy lifting of the bench. Just too much straightening, and then afterwards organizing would have had to have taken place just to move the bench. And I thought, it's Mother's Day. I don't want to do that. And I don't want to clean that corner. And when I look up there, there's not much else I really want to do. So we are going to go stash diving, because reducing the stash, that's a job, isn't it? Right? So I'm going to be winding this to use in a project. We are going to choose a beautiful skein of yarn to use in the Handmade Sock Society pattern 2, and we're going to wind it up. So we are choosing out something that will be eventually decluttering that space. And I'm also going to choose a lovely project bag. So I think for Mother's Day that is probably enough. So first things first, I have my trusty iPad here. We are going to send the pattern to the printer. So I'll sit back, go into my email. Can't share this with you. And I am going to go to print. I'm going to be knitting size medium, so I do not need to print all of the pages of this pattern, just the medium. I hear the printer going, it's music to my ears. So we will get that printed up, and then we're gonna go upstairs, and I believe that I'm going to choose a skein of yarn that I put in the cabinet yesterday. So finding that yarn should be a fairly easy task. Deciding which to choose may not be as easy. So there are still some struggles. Not terrible ones today, but a few. So while that's printing, I'm gonna have a couple more sips of tea, then we're going to head upstairs, take this beautiful skein of BFL Afterglow, get that wound up, and then do some fun yarn choosing. I am looking around and I'm thinking there probably is something I could do. If I wanted to, I could put this in the Lazy Susan. However, once I start putting things in the Lazy Susan, then I have to figure out where to put the Lazy Susan. I'm not quite ready to commit for that yet. I have a bin right here that has CDs in it. I could put that up high in one of the closets. I have a bunch of the empty bins that I emptied out yesterday, which could be taken downstairs, but I'm just not feeling like doing much other than playing with yarn. And today I think I'm going to have to be okay with that, because why not? So yesterday we worked hard on getting this cabinet all straightened, and oh, look how easy that was to pull out the yarn that I'm thinking I might use. And I think that's the only one. So yesterday I said I might use one of these, and now that I have seen a photograph, I am definitely leaning towards one of these too. So these are Wool Barn skeins of yarn, and oh, I wish this one, this is a silky singles. I would have absolutely loved to have done the pattern in this, but because they're socks, using silky singles is definitely not a smart idea. So that will go in for a beautiful shawl at some point. But oh, look at that with all those speckles. Gorgeous. The two that I am going to decide between are these two right here. I wanted to go with a light blue. And this one here is Plush Sock. So it is 85% superwash merino, 15% nylon, and it is beautiful. It's a little bit more on that greeny blue side. It is called Mist. And the other one I'm looking at is called Duck Egg, and this is a BFL 4-ply. So the nice thing is it's 100% blue face Leicester. It's going to be a nice sturdy sock. It doesn't have any nylon in it though, but leaning towards this. I'm drawn a little bit more towards this color. This one's a little bit more on the brighter side. They are both absolutely gorgeous. I think I'm going to go with this one called Mist, and I think it's going to be absolutely gorgeous. It's definitely a beautiful tonal, and there's a little bit more variation in the color, while this Duck Egg is another beautiful tonal as well, but it's a little bit more of a solid compared. So I think I'm going to go more with the gray, bluey green. That's actually picking up the colors a lot better. So I'm going to go with the top one over the bottom one, though both would be beautiful. It's a hard choice. Or that. I think I'm drawn to this one. I really am. Because you know what? It's also closer to this color. If this was a sock, I would have absolutely gone with this yarn. This one is called Equinox. So this one, that's what we're going with. And I think with this second pattern from the Handmade Sock Society, this is going to be absolutely gorgeous. So today's job is to now get this wound up and get it cast on, and that is a perfect way to clean the loft today by reducing one of the yarns there. And by reducing this, it means that there's a little bit more space to move something from here into the cabinet, although these three will be going back in. Okay, yarn is chosen, job is done for today. All that's left to do is to put this back, wind up both skeins of my yarn, so the Nora George in the Afterglow and Mist on the Wool Barn plush sock, and we are going to have a nice relaxing afternoon. This isn't all relaxation. This is a workout. I'm getting some exercise. And a lovely cake just for me. I think that's a pretty nice Mother's Day gift. Here we go. It is time to wind up the Wool Barn in Mist plush sock for the Handmade Sock Society, Season 5, 2023, Pattern 2. It's all very, very exciting, and I think this is going to be a gorgeous pair of socks when it is all said and done. There we are, mist all wound up. A little bit messy at the bottom. Okay, umbrella swift down, and one more task left to do, and that is to choose a project bag. Sorry, Nancy, not this time. I do have so many lovely options. Yes. This one is definitely the one that Pattern 2 from the Handmade Sock Society Season 5 is going to live in. This beautiful little bobbins. Sweet little bird. A little bit of pink, a little bit of greeny blue. That makes me super, super happy. And then of course, the ball band. I'd say that is an afternoon well spent in the loft, even though not much got done up here. But we are now 2 skeins wound, which means it's a tiny bit of cleanup, right? Just a tiny bit. I have pulled my needles. I have made myself a second cup of tea. The pattern for the Handmade Sock Society Season 5, Pattern 2, is right here and clipped with this fun foldy clip. Project bag chosen, as is my gorgeous yarn. And on this Sunday afternoon evening, after spending very little time in the loft, I am going to enjoy some quiet time with my knitting needles and a few of my projects, because I think I will spend a little bit of time on this project, but I think I'll also work on something else as well, because it's Mother's Day and I can knit on whatever I want to. I am wishing you a wonderful day, evening, whatever time it is for you, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow when we will get back to the business of straightening up that loft. But until then, today, I'm going to take the rest of this wonderful day and use it to my full advantage. Wishing you all the best, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye. I actually did a tiny bit of loft cleanup today. I made sure that the blue dresser was completely cleared and all little bits of yarn from winding up my 2 skeins of yarn were cleared up. So I didn't quite do nothing up there today.